Hey guys, Jared here. It's Real Estate Roundup. Here's what's going on. Sorry about the reflection on my eyes. I have everything on the screens today to go over with you. Let's talk about what's happening in Lakeland and Central Florida in the last 7 days in real estate. So the headlines are the pricing is flat, the listings are down, and the pending sales are down. So let's look at the details for our specific area for the closings that occurred. The average home sold was a 3-bedroom, 2-bathroom home that stayed steady. The square footage went way down, about 149 square feet, so that will affect some of the other numbers. So it's now 1670 square feet on average is a square footage price. Now what surprised me this week, this is very uncommon, is we basically had flat pricing. So the list price went from $325,000 last week to $322,000 this week. So that's $3,000, that's very small. But then the actual sold price stayed the same. And that's not very good. I actually don't remember a time where it stayed the same within a few $100s. So $316,000 was the average sold price of a home in Lakeland in the past 7 days. The days on the market went up slightly to 51 days. So that's creeping a little bit. We're keeping an eye on that though. So it's been in that 45 to 65 day range for a while. So that 6 to 8 week situation there. But that's very, very common, very normal. The sales price to list price is at 98%. That means that the end price ends up being 98% of the last recorded list price. So remember, please, that if you had a listing start at $380, it dropped price until it was $350, and then it sold for 98% of the $350, not of the original $380. Also, for our clients where the home's updated, there's no repairs, and it's move-in ready, those things are flying off the shelf because we still have a shortage, okay? The list price went down slightly to $194 per square foot on average, and the sold price went down slightly to $191 per square foot. Again, that's just the averages. If we look at the listing activity specifically, then for Lakeland, new listings went way down to 51, which is like half of what we need. The sold listings were steady at 59 closings this past week. The new pendings went down to 61. Again, we need about 100. But even so, we're at a replenishment ratio of only 83%. So that means the new pending contracts took more listings off the market than were put on. So that's a contraction. Same story for the county. Had 208 new listings. We need 400. 271 closings and 231 new pendings. We had a 90% replenishment ratio there. Again, contraction. If we look at the listings that were removed from the market, those are the canceled, the withdrawn, and the expired listings. We fully expected that number to go up because it's the beginning of the month. The last day of the month is very typical for all those listings that didn't sell to come off the market. And generally it's because the sellers want more than the market is willing to bear. If you don't need to move because your family's expanding, because you hate your neighbors, because you got a job promotion, because kids moved out, you don't need as much space, you want to reduce your taxes, whatever. If you don't need to move, then some of the sellers just aren't moving because they want a certain price that they could have gotten 2 or 3 years ago. So that's just life. But for people who want to move, they're going to get the price that the market is offering now, and they're also going to be able to buy at the pricing the market's offering now. So it's always a good time to buy the right piece of real estate. That is the mantra. If you need something for your life, do it. If you don't, then that's fine. Just stay put. We have the shortage in supply, which I mentioned. So we have just over 20% shortage in Lakeland. So for every 100 buyers, there's only 80 homes available, which is crazy when you think about it like that. But there are still homes sitting, and the ones who are sitting are the ones that have repairs that aren't done. They're not updated. They still got stuff, even though it could be nice, from the 2000s. They're not updated anymore. They're sitting. You got to make that stuff ready so they can move right in. And so those ones that are sitting are not being sold. We still have a shortage. The active listings did go down, like I mentioned. We have 1,040 in Lakeland at the moment. The listings that are price drop actually decreased by a significant number. There was 114 listings last week that had a price decrease. This week was only 75. And then finally, our mortgage rates basically flat, but they went from 6.32 to 6.3. So not a lot of movement there. It's First Friday this week, so we hope to see you soon. Have a great week. Take care. Bye-bye.